Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over what I personally think is the best MP5 build for Warzone. Remember that this build is strictly for Warzone, although I did notice that this build actually does pretty well in regular multiplayer, but there are far superior builds out there, so keep that in mind. The main focus of this build is a focus on accuracy while also maintaining what makes this gun so amazing overall, and that is its mobility. Before we get into the build itself, if you guys want to stay up to date with myself and my content, make sure you shoot me a follow on Twitter for the latest announcements about future videos and streams. Also, don't be afraid to shoot me a follow on Twitch as well so you can catch me live with some Warzone content. I'm always looking for more people to play Warzone with and get some games in with. Now, right into the build itself. Moving over to the gunsmith, you will notice that we went with the Monolithic Suppressor muzzle as we usually do. I personally think that this is the best overall muzzle for Warzone specifically because you get a ton of range overall, which as most of you know, SMGs usually struggle in the medium to long ranges as it is, so this will help with that overall. You also get sound suppression, which will help you lay as low as you possibly can when roaming around the map. Moving on to the laser, we end up picking up this beast of an attachment, the Tac Laser. This thing brings so much value overall, it is actually insane. With this attachment, you receive ADS speed, aiming stability, and aim walk steadiness, at the cost of the enemy seeing your laser. ADS speed is always incredibly important in this game when you're trying to snap to your targets. The MP5 already has a great ADS speed as it is, but with this attachment and the rest of the build, your ADS will basically be instantaneous. Aiming stability doesn't really affect an SMG for the most part unless you get into a super long range battle, but most people run a sniper or an AR as a secondary with this anyways, so you won't really get into long range gun battles with the SMG anyways. You do end up getting improved aim walking steadiness, so if you are moving back and forth while you are ADSing, you will get more of a steady shot overall, which is very important when dueling someone in a 1v1. The time to kill in this game is so low as it is, you will want to be moving and firing at the same time, so this will help with that tremendously. Moving on to the underbarrel, we will be going with the staple of so many gun builds in Warzone. We ended up going with the Ranger Foregrip, which gives us recoil control, which is very important on guns with high fire rate, such as the MP5, MP7, or, basically any other SMG. We do also receive aiming stability, which as said before, doesn't really do a whole lot for SMGs unless you are in a very long range battle. You do end up sacrificing ADS speed with this attachment as well as some of the aim walking movement speed, aka ADSing and moving at the same time. I have also seen some people run the Merc Foregrip, which will help with the hipfire accuracy and make this gun even more deadly than it already is in the close range. You also receive some recoil control, which again is huge when you are dealing with a gun with a fast fire rate like most SMGs have. But keep in mind that you will once again lose ADS speed and aim walking movement speed. The loss of ADS speed and aim walking movement speed that both of these attachments have is too much for you to handle. Then you could always consider running the Commando Foregrip, which I usually switch to from time to time. The Commando Foregrip will benefit your recoil stabilization instead of recoil control that the Ranger Foregrip will benefit. To be clear, recoil control will help with your initial burst of bullets when firing the gun, whereas recoil stabilization will help you recoil when firing for extended periods of time. Also, instead of sacrificing your precious ADS speed, you will sacrifice a little bit of movement speed overall, but it is not 100% noticeable in my experience. It is all up to you to see what feels best for you. Now moving on to the ammunition attachment, and as usual, this might be the most important attachment for this entire build. We end up going with the 10mm auto 30 round mag attachment. You will receive a large boost in damage as well as range overall. The damage increase basically makes this gun kill in a few bullets less than it would without it. It is incredibly strong overall, and you can absolutely melt with this. You also receive a little bit of a bump in range, which makes this thing absolutely ping at a surprisingly long range. You do lose a little bit of fire rate, but this gun already shoots so quickly that it really won't affect the build as much as you might think. You also lose a little bit of recoil control, but this gun already has such great control as it is, especially with all of the attachments that help bump the stats up significantly. Moving on to the last attachment, the rear grip. We decided to run with the Rubberized Grip Tape to offset the loss in recoil control that we get with the 10mm 30 round mags. It is basically like you never lost any stats whatsoever from the mag attachment itself. You do lose aiming stability, but that stat basically doesn't matter on SMGs anyways. Another option you have is a Stippled Grip Tape, and I really like this attachment as well. You really can't go wrong with either. Basically with the Stippled Grip Tape, you'll get a ton of extra mobility with boosts to sprint to fire speed and ADS speed. With this attachment, there's basically no delay when you hit your ADS button and you see yourself ADS on your screen. When choosing between these two attachments, it's actually really simple. Do you want better accuracy and recoil control? Then go with the Rubberized Grip Tape. You want more mobility and faster ADS speed? Then go with the Stippled Grip Tape. It is really up to you and what suits your playstyle better overall. I always like giving you guys more options than just one straightforward build because I know that everyone likes to play differently and also likes to run different setups depending on the day. I appreciate it if you made it this far into the video. If you have any questions about this build or why I chose a certain attachment, then please drop it in the comment section below. I'm always looking to improve my builds and interact with you guys as much as I possibly can. If you did like the video, or if this video helped you out in any way, then please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see future videos. If you would like to see me live or ask me any questions, feel free to shoot me a follow on Twitch. Right now I stream 6 days a week and I'm mostly playing Warzone these days. I would love to interact with you guys or even get some games in sometime. But that will conclude my MP5 guide, and I hope I will see you all in the next one. Much love, have a great day.